This is Jan from New York City, and today we're going to talk about getting a second use, a second life, repurposing stuff we already own. In all probability, most of us have one of these in our house. What? A box of cereal. Now, you may be tempted to say, what could be so interesting about a box of cereal? Let me tell you, there's a hidden treasure inside of every single box. Well, I have some cereal left in here, so I gotta be careful. The bag. This bag. If this is like not one of the most indestructible bags on planet Earth, and you figure, well, what could you do with a cereal bag? I know one thing that I personally like to do with it. If I'm gonna make some cookie crust, like for example last night, I made a cheesecake last night, and I had to make it with a graham cracker crust, with actual graham crackers, okay? I took the graham crackers, I broke them up into little pieces. I don't have a rolling pin available, so I used a sturdy, hard object, like I had an old bottle, okay? So what I do is, I use that. That's another thing, by the way, that's another bonus. Fill up a bottle with water, and you can use that as an emergency rolling pin. I need to buy myself a rolling pin, but I don't use rolling pins that often, so that's why I don't buy it. But going back to this bag, hello. This bag, let me tell you something, indestructible. So when I'm finished with this kind of cereal, or any kind of cereal with this kind of bag, save it. You could keep it in one of these, you could pile them up in these, or find another area to save them. These are like so sturdy. So when you're making your crust, and you're rolling it, or breaking up with your fingers, 99% of my experience, they don't break. But when I used to put them in a plastic bag to do that, I had issues. The cookie would like pierce through the bag and that would make a mess. But for me, this works for me. Just thought I'd mention. That's one repurpose. This used to be, as you can see, I left the label on here. This used to be a humongous jar of cashews. Well, now it's my sugar canister. I mean, I took one look at this thing. I says, even before I bought the cashews, I said, I'm going to reuse this. So I like to be able to look and see what is inside a canister. I don't like ones that you can't see. I like to know. Why do I like to know? Because I like to get an idea of, soon enough I have to replenish this, which in this case is starting to look like soon enough I have to replenish the sugar. So I repurposed this as my sugar canister. Absolutely for free, meaning that I already paid for it. I'm not paying twice for a canister. And the size is nice. So if you have anything like this, don't throw it out, repurpose. Not to mention, like during the holiday season at Easter time, fill this up, for example, with colorful jelly beans. Makes for a really pretty presentation. It really, really does. Lots of uses, lots of uses. This. How many times do you get these at Christmas time? Holiday time, whatever you prefer to call it. I call it Christmas time. Christmas cookies. Many people are so kind. They either bake them or they buy a bunch and put them in here. I'm not going to get rid of this. I could use this as either like a little sewing kit throughout the year, or just re-gift someone the following year with my own homemade cookies or store-bought cookies. These are great. Don't just fling them out. Use them. I bet most of you have at least one of these at home, right? Okay. Now, for some reason or another, don't ask me how this happens, but you get storage containers in your life, and somehow you only have left the bottom. Don't ask me where the tops go, the land of the lost. You know, it's sort of like socks in the laundry. But don't say, oh, gee, well, what am I going to do? I don't have a cover. No. This is what I like to do. Sometimes I use this in the refrigerator to group things, okay? And this makes a perfect little caddy for condiments. You can put like a jar of mayonnaise, your ketchup, and your mustard all in one. So don't ever just get rid of this, okay? These are just tiny examples of repurposing. If you have scrap material at home, for example, and you want to brighten up some old, tired-looking throw pillows, and the scrap material is brand new, for sure, if you can fit it, wrap it around the fabric around the old pillow, take one of these, you know, these hair scrunchy things, wrap it around, and behind it, you tie it, use one of these wrap, and you'll have instantly brightened up a pillow. So there. One more thing, in case you missed the Save $10 Tuesday show of this past week, and if you did miss it, I strongly suggest you go back to it. There was a good mention of spray bottle usage. You can either purchase some in the dollar store if you haven't any, but if you already have spray bottles that are almost coming to a close, I highly recommend one particular glass cleaning products bottle because that seems to be indestructibly strong. So clean it thoroughly, make sure there's not 1 ounce of old product, make sure it's thoroughly clean, and reuse that for your cleaning purposes. You have the stuff, you just need to use them again. So there. These are my multiple tips of the day. Happy Friday, happy upcoming weekend. And by the way, if you're new to this channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're a veteran here, how awesome of you to make a return trip. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. And don't forget to click, like, share too. I really do appreciate it. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. Have a wonderful upcoming weekend, and look out for the finger because I'm going to cut off this clip. Have a great day.